Come in. Hey, look who's here. Kaka.
Hey,
What's
Mambo
up,
baby.
man? Hey.
Even bumping.
Hey, Nico Poa, man.
No, there's nothing here, guys.
Yeah, nothing. Yeah,
There's nothing here.
You see, it's
Right.
and it's air. Actually, no, there is something.
Yeah.
Air molecules.
Air molecules. It's just air molecules. He bumped into some air molecules.
Man, those air molecules are tough these days, bro. MarkDenver. What's
Hey.
up, brother?
What's up, John Legend?
I'm good, my brother. Yeah. Welcome. bro.
asante
So,
sana.
what brings you to the neighborhood?
Oh man, kidogo chit chat.
Yeah, that's good. Well, I'm always happy when you
Yeah.
stop by.
Yeah.
We have some interesting conversations. Again,
And I'm
I think we are probably one or two most. I don't know if that's the term. Most geekiest guys on the lot.
Mm.
Yeah, we geek out on a lot of stuff
Oh,
together.
dude, yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, man. So what are you geeking on lately? What's going on?
Oh man. Phew. So first, let's just talk about. I think a lot of DIY, a lot of car DIY stuff.
Nice.
Man,
Was
I
it
think when people say money is the root of all problems. I say bring the money to me. I
know
will
what to
show
do
you
with it.
how to put your money into good use.
There you go. So Mark knows how to make your money work for you. So basically, a car DIY.
Yeah,
Tell
yeah.
me more. Tell me.
So actually,
Yeah.
last night I spent about 2 hours watching how to reassemble the car engine, my car engine.
You don't say.
Yeah,
What model is that?
I'm not jinxing anything,
But
just it's just a part of me because I think I've gotten to a point where there are some things I really don't want to go to the mechanic for.
right, just pay somebody to do something that you can actually
Yes,
do yourself.
yes.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
got you. I got you.
and that stems from me geeking out a lot on YouTube, watching a lot of car DIY content.
YouTube University.
Yep.
Thank you,
Yep.
YouTube.
Thank you, YouTube,
what's that,
for
Alphabet, right?
thank you, YouTube University, for giving me my skills in photography.
That's right.
And now you're giving me my skills in car. You give me skills in car diagnosis.
Yo.
Now here I am getting skills in car mechanics.
So, hey, you never know. Rocket science, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Elon Musk.
Yeah.
You know, you got a guy right here. He can fix your Teslas. Right?
Inshallah.
Yes, that's great, man. So, let's talk a little bit about photography because you are the one half of Paragon time-lapse and Paragon post.
Yeah.
Right. So you guys take us from the beginning up until now, from when you started, YouTube University in photography to sharpen up your skills to where now you actually doing it, man. I mean, you're getting paid gigs. It's not a hobby. This is actually your career. This is your job. And not just a job, your passion.
Yes.
And you're an entrepreneur. You didn't go and seek out employment and work for, you set up your own organization. So take us from the beginning. How did you start? What got you interested in photography and then, YouTube and all that, and then to now Paragon, time-lapse and Paragon post?
Okay. So once upon a time.
Cue music.
Cue music. So I think it all started when I was pretty young, like 10 or something.
Oh wow, that's
and
early.
yeah, and so my dad had a Kodak the Kodak film camera.
The actual Kodak brand name.
Yeah.
Awesome.
A Kodak camera, film
Yes.
camera, but it was on auto.
Wow.
So he would just buy a film roll, set it up for me, and then tell me this is your roll. Figure out what you're gonna do with it. So I knew I had a roll of film for a certain amount of time, for an extended amount of time.
Or 36 exposure. Right.
Yes. So that film roll, meant now having that role meant I really had to think about what I wanted to shoot. So it was mostly family. So back then when I was young, just taking a lot of images of family, when we do family gatherings, when it's someone's birthday around home. So that's where now really my passion for composition, storytelling came in. I didn't know it back then. I just loved taking the camera and pointing it
experiment
at,
and
yeah,
then right.
yeah. Sometimes even just doing even these crazy artistic techniques.
Right. Like whip pans.
Yeah, whip
Did
pans
you
and
ever
all
do the
that.
thing you throw the camera up and then you catch it, or was that something that was capable? Nah, you didn't know about that one.
I had only one camera.
Oh, right.
There was
And
only one camera,
and
and
that
it
was
was
your dad's
shared.
camera,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. You don't mess around with that.
No, you don't
Yeah.
experiment with that.
Yeah. So transition to Sony now, bringing in the cyber shots.
Oh, right.
And then Dad also got the Sony cyber shot, and now I was the official family photographer.
Excellent.
So whenever we went out for any family gatherings, I would document the events.
That's excellent.
And it was fun because it was stored in an SD card, and I would go back home and we would have to back up them to a CD drive.
CDs.
Yeah.
You remember CD burners, huh?
Yeah, and then now store them. So, and then now it slowly transitioned, and then I figured out that camera could take I don't know what format it was, but some form of RAW, some form of higher resolution file format that I could edit.
Mm-hmm. So you could recover the highlights and the shadows. And
so I started playing around with the images, trying to add graphics. Nice. Still no YouTube universe, just trial and error.
Right.
Sometimes I would crash the computer, deleting system files. Yeah.
Nightmare.
Yeah. And then now transition to me coming to uni.
Right.
And in uni, someone nicked the camera.
Oh, the cyber shot.
Yeah, the cyber shot.
Ouch.
Man.
Ouch. So basically, your world just came crumbling down. Oh my God! So what did you do?
I had an LG KS360. Mm-hmm. If you remember, show it somewhere here.
Yeah, right. We'll put the graphics right here.
Yeah, it was a sidekick.
Right.
So it had a camera. It had the primary camera. So I used that phone to now start doing my daily life. In uni, right. And then that's where I met my business partner in uni at a gala.
Wow. So you guys go way back.
Yeah. So I was still figuring out so I started now really using the phone a lot to take images. And that's where now slowly we also started now working together. Mm-hmm. Now he was more interested in cinematography.
Right.
So we then got an opportunity to volunteer in church for live production.
Perfect training ground.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So we'd spend the better part of the day, like from about 7 or 8 a.m. till 2 p.m. on camera.
Wow.
Live, that's setting up running cables to the mixer, to the camera, making sure the cameras are well exposed, settings are similar and all that. Mm-hmm. And then now during service, being on camera as well, listening to the director. So it was the perfect training ground, just as you said.
Right.
And then now that's where now we now slowly started transitioning now to getting gigs. Mm-hmm. Friends would want to get some images of their fashion brand taken. Started now getting hired for wedding gigs and all. Birthday parties, you know how it all starts when you're in uni.
Right.
Any shilling counts.
Oh, definitely. A little bit of cash, pocket money, and then of course now it gives you a taste of what your what your labor can bring, and then a sense of satisfaction, right? A sense of accomplishment.
Yeah.
Where you say, you know what, this is something that started here.
Yeah.
I transferred it to my hands, and then now there's that transfer.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful thing. It's a wonderful thing. Yeah. And then continue.
Yeah. So and then I started geeking out a lot online, and stumbled upon time-lapse photography.
Nice. And what was the first photographer that you saw doing time? I'm sure you remember who it was.
I think it's Morten Rudstad.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I've said it right.
Okay. Well, we'll check it out.
But he's part of a Norwegian collective, if I'm not wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, he's the first person and it was on Vimeo.
Oh wow.
So guys would do so a lot of time-lapse photographers then, the likes of him and Rob Whitworth, would create films of, say, nature, just time-lapse films of nature.
Right.
And then remember, back then, like I don't think there were any cameras shooting 4K. Because I think the highest was, a 5D Mark II.
What year was this? 2013?
I think 2012.
2012?
2012.
It was probably 5D Mark II. I think
Yeah.
it maxed out at 1080p.
Yeah.
So you had, 360, 480, 720.
Yeah. So the people who had time-lapse cameras would release stuff in 4K.
Oh, so that was pretty
Why?
early.
Because, you see, when you take a still photo, the resolution is 6,000 by 4,000.
Right.
If it's a Canon camera. Depending on...
right.
Yeah. So the resolution was 6K. Okay, let's call it 4K.
Right.
So, you see...
4K augmented.
Yeah. So time-lapse photographers already had access to 4K. And that was mind-blowing for me.
Right.
First, how you're able to show time pass by so beautifully. So I started experimenting, and the camera I had at that point, I had to press the shutter myself and then count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Click.
Yeah, and then do it.
You didn't even have a remote trigger.
Where was the money for the... That's what I'm saying. Give me your money. I'll show what to do with your money.
Because now you were in university at the time.
Yes,
right?
I mean uni.
Yeah, so there's no money. You study.
Yeah.
Whatever money you get is from pops and moms.
Yeah, and whatever you get from client work is just enough to sustain you.
Got you.
So that's where now really passion for time-lapse started. And I was figuring out the technique, and then we got a high-paying gig for us to do production, just traditional production, that's video and photography.
Right.
But when we were talking to the CEO
of the company
who
hired you, right?
Yeah, of the client. I remember they said that so we have a construction that's happening. It's gonna be 9 months, and we want you guys to document. And I was like, okay,
but you have never done anything like that.
We have a way we can do it. We'll use time-lapse photography. We'll leverage the power of time-lapse photography. We'll document the construction and shrink it down to a short video.
So in 9 months, you compress it down
compress it to 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
And the gala were like, okay. Do it. If they bite, they bite. So we quickly created a reel of the time-lapse content I had done and he had done as well, just with normal cameras, just either recording video and then speeding it up, or of
that whole 5 seconds.
Yes,
click.
waiting and clicking.
But there must have been some shaking though as you pressed the shutter.
I do high shutter speeds.
There you go.
And then I'd also set up a timer delay, a 2-second delay.
There
so I'd count down to 3 and then
click.
press and then wait for 2 and it takes.
Brilliant,
Yeah.
brilliant. That it eliminates the shake. Even if you want a high shutter speed, sometimes you might inadvertently bump into it, and then that's brilliant. That's brilliant.
Yeah. So strangely enough, we got the job.
Wow. So that was the first high-paying gig.
First high-paying time-lapse gig that we got.
Wow.
And
what year is this? Take us to the timeline.
2013, late 2013 into 2014.
Right.
Yeah.
Nice.
The gig is in Turkana County.
Mm-hmm.
For all of you who know Kenya, who know the map of Kenya, it's 900 k's from Nairobi.
All right, map right there. So map.
Yeah, but it's way at the top corner, bordering Ethiopia and South Sudan.
Right.
So we start going out there for work.
So wait. So talk me through this. So now it's way up there.
Yeah.
You live in Nairobi.
Yeah.
You still in school.
Yes.
Right. So how did you manage? Because you had to be there fairly frequently, almost on a daily basis.
Yep.
Take us through that.
Well, I have to whisper this to John.
There you go.
Treat. I had to quit school.
Oh, yeah, because pops and moms, he didn't.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah. So I had to take a hiatus,
Yeah.
basically, because something had to give.
Absolutely.
And I think it was one of the biggest risks I have taken in my life.
But it was calculated.
One of many.
Right.
But it is one of the best risks I ever took.
It paid off.
It paid off because we were able, one, to upgrade to 2 cameras,
Nice.
which had internal intervalometer, a built-in intervalometer.
Nice.
So there was no need to buy an external intervalometer.
Right. Was it a Canon or a Fuji?
Nikon.
Okay. Yeah, you were Nikon.
Nikon were pioneers because then the only thing you could do with Canon is install Magic Lantern.
Right. Now, who remembers Magic Lantern? Man, that was my bread and butter for a long time.
Yeah. So now the issue with Magic Lantern, one, is it used to work either on high-end Canon devices. So you're talking about the Canon 5D.
5Ds.
Or the Canons. I don't even think the 7D had it.
I don't even think so. What is the 70D? I don't think those even worked. But also the Rebel series worked on those.
Yeah.
T1, T3.
And it was janky. It wasn't perfect. It was perfect of the 5D.
Yeah.
And the 5D for someone in uni.
Right. That was.
Yeah, that was too
What are we talking about? What are you talking about now in terms of price? Back then, 2012, 2014.
I think right now probably be around $2,000.
Okay. Yeah, they were expensive.
Yeah, because then I think they were around 1,500 or something, or 12 or 1,200.
Right.
But it was still it was actually more, because I remember the camera I bought, and I bought it open box.
Oh, okay.
On eBay.
Right. Really?
Yes.
So you had to have it shipped here.
Yes.
The tax must have been crazy
then. Then it was easier.
Okay.
Because we bought it from eBay UK.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then there were these routes where just people, there was these opportunities to consolidate containers.
Right. Legally, guys. Right. This is all legit. Right?
Yeah.
This is no
legit. No
chinia maji type stuff. Right?
No, you just so it was easier, and then the price of the euro.
Mm-hmm.
And the pound also versus the Kenya shilling, the conversion was easier.
Right.
Yeah. So ended up spending about 900
pounds.
Okay.
Or euro.
It's converted around 90k Kenyan shillings.
Okay. All right, so $900.
$900, give or take. Yeah.
So give or take 800 something euros.
Yeah.
So that was a pretty good deal. So now you ended up with 2 cameras.
We had now 2 cameras which had a built-in intervalometer.
Intervalometer, and then now you had video capability.
Yes.
Which you didn't have with the CyberShot.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, did the CyberShot have video capability?
It had.
But it was a crappy MP4 codec.
Yeah.
Not even 1080p. I think it was max at 720 even.
It did its job.
Right.
Yeah, it did its job.
It was okay.
We learned with it.
Yes.
So all that time now, so the 9-month project really opened up my eyes. And that's when now we started now having that vision of really now
digging in and then just basically find different technologies to assist in doing these things. Because now the fact that you had to take a hiatus and focus on this aspect of your career development, which is a very good calculated move, and it paid off, but it could have been disastrous. That means now your parents would have been, we told you, listen to us, right? But so now after so now you completed this gig. Talk us through what happened after that. Once you finished the gig, you shoot it. Were you there or you actually lived there while you were shooting?
So we would go there intermittently. Sometimes a month on end. Sometimes we do 2 weeks, sometimes a week, depending on the milestones.
Got you, right.
What's happening on site.
Right, because there's no point being there if somebody's just basically pouring concrete and there's a month of that.
It's redundancy. Yeah. So really hard to get into it and understand the process.
Right.
So that's where now also, here's the beauty of geeking out on anything that you stumble upon. Go all in.
Yeah.
Because now we really had to understand, okay, what's going on, liaison with the project manager, understand what's going to be happening in the next couple of months, in the next couple of weeks.
Right.
So it opened up now our eyes now to understanding processes. And then the one mistake I did is I failed to upgrade editing suite. And then, so now you're done with the 9-month project, and then you have a bunch
of footage,
images, raw files, raw photos.
Right.
You have to convert raw photos to video.
Right.
And the editor Adagala has not started editing the videos yet.
Wow.
So it was a crazy 2 months of editing.
Post-production.
Just post-production on my end.
Wow.
Because you're sorting, because I have to sort the files and then export them to...
Right. Chronologically?
Yes.
Right. So now, in hindsight, would it have been better as you collect the data and you start putting the timeline together and you start putting basically, I don't know, week 1, week 2, or even day 1 all the way,
End of day.
Right, end of day.
End of day. By the end of the day, just make sure at least you've started. I have started the process of editing.
Exactly. Trim the fat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Early. Prevention is better than cure.
Absolutely. For those of you who are into time lapse or any kind of production, this is the reason why you see on film sets there's a DIT.
Yeah.
Digital imaging technician, which is why it's an invaluable role that is played by a dedicated person, usually with a cart, with a beefy laptop, with a bunch of hard drives, that now takes the files, after every take, so the dailies, get the rushes, create dailies, and then now in Video Village, the director and producers and whoever can review if there are things to be done. Now, if there's a reshoot to be done, now you're already there. So reshoot right away instead of going back 6 months later to which it happens.
Yeah.
So now you learn a valuable lesson there. The fact that the pre-production started after the shoot. Now you with a mountain of data.
Yeah.
Now Adagala didn't have a beefy enough machine to handle the editing, correct?
The editing. Now we used to lease time
at the studio.
At a friend who had a beefy gaming machine.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. So
do you remember the specs? Sorry, let's geek out for a minute.
I'm not sure, but I think it was a Core i5.
Okay, right. Which was beefy at the time.
It was beefy, but the advantage is he had a GPU.
NVIDIA or
it had to be an NVIDIA.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a 1080 GTX.
Right.
Or 960, I'm not sure, but
something like 8 megabytes of RAM. It wasn't even a gigabyte back then. Probably 16 megabytes of RAM or something. Or or 32?
No, it had to be gigs. Like I think probably two gigs of RAM.
2 GB. Yeah, you're right.
2 GB
So
RAM.
it's GB,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Mm.
So that helped a lot.
Right.
But now you see, you're working at someone's house
Yeah.
during their time. They also need their privacy.
That's right.
You have school. Someone else has school.
Yeah. So you didn't have access.
Yeah, you don't have
24/7
access.
So how did you manage that?
I don't know. Grace. Grace. But what that taught us, and me specifically at a very early stage,
Right.
is to utilize whatever I have to its maximum.
Potential, yeah.
Push it to the limit.
Mm-hmm.
Let it break.
Yeah.
Because I've broken my computers a lot and figured out, and that's where now DIY also helped.
Hey.
Because now you'd have to figure out, disassemble the computer.
Mm-hmm.
Because then also my desktop PC and Adagala's desktop PC, now we were able to start buying computers as well for ourselves.
So,
Keep them pole
so you
pole.
upgraded
Pole.
get some good GPU, because GPU is basically the best thing you could upgrade when it comes to video or photo editing at high capacity.
Yeah. So it still wasn't the best, but at least we had computers that we could work on, we could work with, and then we started now getting gigs more and more.
Nice.
Music videos, which were Adagala's.
More his back. Right.
So I'd assist a lot. So we and all through we are doing a lot of research and research, understanding. Okay, what are the techniques that are happening? What can we do with the techniques and implement them? So we executed a one-take video at a point, and then it ended up becoming an entire thing in the music video space locally.
Was that? That was a music video.
Yeah, a music video that we shot one take.
Wow.
Yeah, single take, and then it ended up tough. And it blew.
Yeah, that is tough.
Yeah, and then it blew up. Hey, dude, like.
Yeah, can we see this video? Where is it at?
Yeah,
is
it's
there a link?
YouTube. Yeah,
we'll post the link, guys.
Yeah,
check it out. Check it out.
So, really, and at every phase, you see, you put in the work with minimum resources, and then when you see the output, you're wowed.
Yeah.
And so I think that was the biggest motivation for me. Like, I'm able, with the little that I have, to see such greatness coming out of it. I think that really pushed me more and more to really try and discover what else I can do, what else can go on. So
that's amazing.
Yeah.
And all that through YouTube University.
Yeah.
And but at university, was that your field of study, or were you involved in some?
I was doing computer science.
Oh,
Yeah.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you finish?
I'll be back.
Okay. Yeah. Stay tuned.
Yeah. I'll be back.
Cool.
So because I've ended up now transitioning to taking up a lot of project management courses, understanding project management. Now I'm currently trying to understand as well marketing.
Gotcha.
Yeah, doing a proper deep dive into marketing. Okay. So really, what I've really understood from my experience, that number one, life is not linear. So if it doesn't work, if you're branching out, if at this point you're branching out this way, as long as I know that this is where I'm headed, all these other things are just branches in the tree.
Absolutely, because we, as you said, life is not linear, right? It's basically, there's a lot of meanderings, a lot of offshoots, and different branches of how to get to a certain point. Now, right? I think it's great that you get into management and also marketing, sales. It actually should be sales and marketing, because selling and marketing go hand in hand. Yeah. And for any sort of business that you're into, if there's no sales and marketing component, it's not really gonna move forward. And the reason also being, sales. I know it's a loose term that people use a lot to say, well, you want to sell somebody something, but you never really sell anybody anything. You basically facilitate the acquisition of a device or a piece of furniture or a gadget and so on and so forth. You're just there. You have to be there at the right place at the right time to actually show the buyer, you want this? Well, I have it. Are you ready to buy it? If they're not ready to buy it, whatever, it doesn't matter what you do, what you say, they will never buy it from you. If somebody shows up here and say, hey, listen, you want to buy a hard drive? What is a hard drive? If somebody is never, what am I going to do with it? I have no use for it. But if I'm talking to you, on the other hand, so you see, now this is where the marketing comes in. Now, I know you're involved into an endeavor where hard drives are valuable. Hard drives, if I say, hey, I have this hard drive here at a good price. You say, really? Well, it sells for $15,000. Now it's only at $7,000. We now speak in the same language. Now you understand what's going on. But if I try to do the same thing with Nico, you know Nico, right?
Yeah.
The Fundi out here. If I try to do the same thing with Nico, shout out Nico, what's going on? I don't know if you're going to see this, but yeah. Shout out to Nico.
Shout out.
All right. So, you know what I mean? If I try to sell him a hard drive, even for 1,000 shillings, I'm like, I don't know. What am I going to do with it? This is nothing to him. You see? So this is sales and marketing. So great. So at this point, you're shooting music videos. You're assisting at a gala in this. You finished the gig. Now you're building computers. You're geeking out on now trying to find other ways to now shoot time lapse without you having to be present. I assume that's part of the journey as well.
Yes.
That way, if you set up remote cameras or whatnot, in fact, I don't want to give it away. Why don't you tell us about that? At what point did you realize time is money, time is precious. I can't be on site for a month at a time where I could be doing other gigs to bring in revenue. Why don't I set up an auto system? I'm assuming.
Yes. So every single day.
Right.
Every single day of my life, I'm constantly trying to think like, how can I automate anything in my process?
Automation, guys. Automation is key.
Yeah. So, I'm not good with dates.
Right.
I'm not good with timelines. But I remember there's a point where someone reached out and they wanted construction of a bigger tower.
A massive
in Westlands
project.
in Westlands, Nairobi.
Nice.
To be documented.
Right.
It was going to be a 3-year project.
3 years.
3 years.
Wow.
And they needed it documented. And that's where now really the advantage of
automation.
Yeah, automation and also doing a lot of research. Constantly just having that knowledge.
Right.
We were able to say, okay, so for this project, this is what we recommend. So we got an opportunity to set up a fixed camera that was battery powered, solar powered.
Nice.
We could monitor remotely, have the files come to our backend, uploaded to the cloud. You can access them. The client can access them.
Nice.
And that opened up a whole new world where now you're spending less time out in the field, like trying to document ABCD. So I had more time now to go out, also look for other gigs where I could be on site.
Right.
Because you see, it's not every kind of project that I have to be on site.
Right.
Or it's not every other project that I have to set up a camera. There are some projects where, again, also, for time management, I can start to involve other people.
There you go. So now you start delegating tasks to collaborators.
Yes. So I started also collaborating with other photographers.
Right.
And it's been an amazing journey because it's a very niche space.
It is, yeah.
It is, but you see, the thing is, you get to interact with some amazing people, and that knowledge exchange, because I've learned a lot also from the people I've networked. Some of the people that we work with on time-lapse are even better than I am.
Wow. So then, yeah, by putting yourself in proximity with people that excel in the field, and then for you, you started the journey by being inquisitive,
Yeah.
by researching, okay, what's the best way for me to achieve X, Y, Z, and then you end up in proximity with guys who are actually doing it at a higher level, which again, what they say, never be the smartest guy in the room, because now, you'll learn from these guys and you'll grow.
Yeah, because you got to a point where I think so a bunch of friends and acquaintances formed a collective called the XIXO Collective. Shout out to the XIXO Collective.
Yo, shout out, guys.
And what ended up happening is guys would go out either to Nairobi or Mombasa and just document the daily life, like on the streets of Nairobi.
Right.
And created some amazing films just using time-lapse. And it set the ball rolling for the space as well. Like, at least it got more and more people interested in the field.
Right, and time-lapse, hyperlapse now, and all that stuff.
Yes.
Are you involved in hyperlapse at all, or
dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
Easy, come on, easy.
Yeah. It's like,
yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. And also how I got into hyperlapse. Same thing. I didn't have the hardware.
Right.
But I knew the system is moving
That's right.
a step at a time.
Yeah.
So I used to do it handheld. And then when I had a monopod, I could shoot with a monopod. And now you can use it. You can use the motion control slider.
That's right.
So, yeah. So as long as I know the
process.
I know the process.
Right.
The hardware is just an extension.
So you use what you have at your disposal. You know what they say, the best camera you have is the one that's
in your hand.
Yep. So that's amazing, man. So basically, you didn't even have to go through the machine to get a degree, to sit through lectures, to waste a bunch of time, because there's a young man that comes here that he kind of comes here. He see how we do things at the studio. He's in film school. And he's been there for 2 years. They hadn't even touched a camera. I'm like, it's a crime.
I'm not even shocked.
It's a crying shame. What are you doing for 2 years? You're there to make films without a camera. It's like me being in culinary school, but then we haven't been into a kitchen.
You haven't even touched the chef's You don't even know the technique.
Exactly.
How to chop the onions.
How to julienne, how to cube, how to dice. Come on. So great. Now you are deep into time-lapse, hyperlapse. Now you have cash flow. You're getting better equipment. Of course, being a geek. Now you can build your own rig, or at least if you don't build it yourself, you know all the components to get the right GPU, the right motherboard, the right power supply. You know what I mean? How much RAM do you need? SSD drive versus hybrid versus mechanical drive, all that type of stuff. So now you're basically light years ahead of a lot of guys who, they went through the machine.
The system.
The matrix.
Yeah, the matrix.
An instant graphic right here, the matrix. Right?
Yeah.
So now you are doing it in a big way. And it's not a hobby, it's basically what you do.
Yeah.
24/7. You live it, you breathe it, you basically research it, you're on YouTube, you're on Chat GPT, you're on
Reading
Bard,
articles.
reading articles, you're on whatever, you're scrolling through Instagram. You always gravitate towards those type of, and I think it's a beautiful thing where now this becomes part of your being. Now what you become what you do becomes part of you.
Yeah.
And now you and when Adagala, Paragon Time Lapse and Paragon Post, why don't you talk about this? Tell us about the organization. How long you guys been in business? What are you guys doing right now? Current projects, upcoming projects, and all that type of stuff.
Yeah. So I think the business now is getting into its I'm not good with
With the timelines.
timelines.
So 2 years,
But
3 years.
it's been a minute. It's
Yeah.
been a minute. It's been
Right.
more than it's been close to a decade.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Okay, that long.
Yeah.
Mm.
So now more than ever, we've now really transitioned now, not just to just because the business is called Paragon Time Lapse does not mean time lapse is all that
That's
we
all
do.
you do, right?
Yeah, we do leverage the power of
Time-lapse?
time-lapse photography to tell stories, but we also use traditional media. So
The motion picture.
yeah, real-time video,
Right.
photography as well. Now diving into animation, 2D and 3D animation.
Right.
So basically, Paragon Post is more like an incubator.
Gotcha.
So Paragon Time Lapse, the business itself is an enabler for us to explore any other avenues that we want to
Right.
try and figure out
Gotcha.
in the space in the space of media, multimedia.
Right.
So right now we currently have a couple of process documentation jobs happening. That's either organizations that are building kitchens to feed school-going children.
Oh wow, great.
Yeah.
So you're documenting that process
Yes,
right
yes. Either is just someone who has a business and they want to get something that they can showcase their work,
Right.
whether as a portfolio or as an ad.
now. Right.
To even stuff like even just doing documentary work.
Right.
So,
Documentaries,
yeah.
whether it's for advertising, whether it's documentary, short films, and etc. etc.
Yeah.
Right.
So basically now we just transitioned now from just being time-lapse photographers to visual storytellers.
Well said. Yeah.
Yes.
Again, visual storytelling in whether it's photography, still photography, time-lapse photography, traditional video, animation.
Yes.
Right. And also, I assume audio as well as
Audio as well.
process,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Yes.
Excellent.
Because that is why 2 years ago we set up the post house.
Right.
We set it up so that it could be the hub where we could work on the audio, work on the visuals as well.
Right.
Because I mean, it's easier when you have somewhere where you can call home.
Yes. And now you don't have to experience that whole thing after.
Yeah.
Going to my guy's house.
It's fun. It's good because all those people that have helped us all along the journey, I'm never gonna forget them. Because I mean, to them it might seem like it was nothing.
It was
just just use the computer for X amount of time and then leave. Right. But for us, that was the opportunity to grow, to build. What's here?
Boom. To see it like in pixels.
Yeah.
Right, in color.
And show it to the world. And not be hard drive photographers.
There you go. Yeah, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, because no one's going to see them on your hard drive. Just put them out there.
Sure.
Whatever
I mean, there's something we say like, if you're sharing your work so that you can get feedback for it.
Yeah.
The first question you need to ask yourself is, do you like what you've done?
Hey, indeed.
If you like what you've done, then it's okay.
That's it. Because you're not going to please everybody.
Yeah.
Some people are going to like it. Some people are not going to like it. So you have to just bite the bullet, as we say, put it out there and let it have a life of its own.
Yep.
Essentially, you have to, I say this all the time. Whatever you do, let's say you're a filmmaker, you have to make sucky films first. Yeah, and then you make films that suck less. Then you make films that, okay. Then you make films like, okay, he's onto something. And then you make films that like, son of a gun, he did it. You make films that like, oh wow, but it's never gonna be perfect. Don't kid yourself.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as a perfect film or a perfect time lapse. But at the end of the day, you have to do it, get it to where you're happy with it, and release it to the world and put it out there. It's share and share and share and share, and then that's how you grow. Otherwise, you'll never grow if you just keep repeating the same thing over and over and never really experience the thrill of having an idea, have it manifest through your hands or whatever medium, whether it's photography, time-lapse photography, storytelling, even if it's, slam poetry, whatever. Just record it, process it, post-process it, put it out there, and then let the world enjoy it. Release it.
Yes.
Let it go.
Yeah, because here's something strange, actually. Paragon, one meaning of paragon is perfection.
Right.
But that doesn't mean that
you're gonna
our work is perfect.
Right. It doesn't mean you're gonna strive for
perfection. We're just working our way towards mastery. Nice. There's a difference between perfection and mastery.
Yes.
And trust me, even the greats, like even someone like Christopher Nolan,
right?
Like right now, I think there's one film I'm waiting for is Oppenheimer.
Yes, dropping soon, right?
Yeah. Like even the greats, when you mention them, they're constantly seeking mastery.
Yeah.
They may be masters because there's things that they already know that you do not.
Right.
But the Kenyan in me, all along the process, what they're constantly gaining is mastery. And
absolutely.
And even for us right now, what I'm currently now doing is also trying to bring in now also people younger than I am.
Mentor them?
Yes, who I want them to leapfrog. Yeah. Because, you see, I was able to kind of leapfrog, not go through the system.
Right.
But be in the periphery of the system.
Yeah.
But there's mistakes I made along the journey that I wouldn't want someone else who is starting up to go through.
Yeah.
I'd want for them to be able to leapfrog some errors, but know that it's very possible to mess it up here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I think that's great because what you're doing in essence, you're not being selfish. You acquired the knowledge. Now you want to pay it forward. You want to say, you know what, kid? This is what I went through. Now I can tell you, don't go down that road because there's a pit full of crocodiles. I've been there. Yeah. Trust me, I know.
Been there. Yeah.
Take this route, and I think it's gonna be it's gonna be a beautiful thing because now you'll see the progression. And if this kid, even if it's just one kid, you mentor, and it goes on to achieve great things, and it passes it on, and then 2 or 3 generations from now, that would have been the seed that you planted to further a young man's mindset to say, you know what? No, this open up. The possibilities are endless. Yeah. Now with accelerated learning, the AI, ChatGPT and the likes, and the YouTube University still there, free. Okay. Of course, you still have to, access it through the internet and connection. But at the end of the day, you have to be in a position to say, you know what? Now I have a little bit of knowledge, and knowing also that the more you know, the less you know. Yeah. The less you realize.
True.
You know what I mean?
True. Yeah.
And like you say, I learn something new every day. You learn something. You're always researching. You always want to learn something new every day. And I think that's the key to mastery.
Yeah. And actually, here's the strange thing: the more you teach, the more you learn.
Hey, well said, my friend. All right, cool. So, Mark D, And the Hizzo representing the 254. All right, so ODP in the house. So Mark, before we part, words of wisdom for let's say a young guy or girl who's coming up. They want to get involved in motion picture, time lapse, production, post production. Wise words for those kids.
Okay. Whew.
I'm putting you on the spot, right?
Yeah. Properly on the spot.
Yeah.
But I think what I'll say is, if so far you haven't gotten anything, just scroll back to the start of this video and start listening again.
Listening intently.
Yeah, listen intently. But also just be open to learning anything and everything. You could easily grasp a technique or a way to do
A
process that has been bugging you for a long time through an entirely different life lesson. Yeah. So so life has its way of teaching us a lot. And you don't just have to get lessons just from doing your job or being in your career. Also, you adapt whatever it is you're getting also generally in your daily life into your work.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, work and life, kind of the same thing.
Yeah, they're intertwined. Yeah. You're right.
So take your lessons from everything and adapt.
Yes.
Adapt.
Yes.
Because sadly, we are not all born with a silver spoon in our mouths.
Hey.
And even when we are, we don't all have the knowledge.
Yeah.
So constantly seek knowledge so that you gain mastery and pass it down.
Yeah, definitely. Don't be selfish, guys. Don't be selfish.
Even whenever you are, whichever position you are in, pass it down.
Pay it forward. So wise word from Mark D on the ODP Open Door podcast. So where can the people reach you, my brother? Websites, Telegram, smoke signal, homing pigeons, satellite beacons, and all that stuff.
Okay.
Let's plug away.
All right. Before that, just give me a shot of that ginger thing.
No, you want that? This right here, guys. You have no idea. So now he's hooked. I'm hooked.
You need to come to ODP. You need to come to ODP. If there's someone out there who's been resisting John's calls, please come to ODP. There's some nice
treats. Yes.
Here.
Yeah. Tell them what it is, though.
This is ginger.
It's basically desiccated ginger.
Desiccated ginger. It's real nice.
Good, especially in this type of weather.
Yeah.
And there's a cold going around.
Yeah.
It's basically chopped finely, boiled with a little bit of brown sugar and molasses, and then you dry it in a sheet pan in the oven for about 40 minutes to an hour. You dry it up, and then this basically lives forever.
You see, that's him passing down knowledge.
Hey, there you go. Learn, folks, learn. And listen, let's have some, actually.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah. So
this is delicious, guys. You can have it with your dawa, you know what I mean? As you drink your dawa, you pop a little piece in your mouth. It opens up your nasal passages.
Oh.
You know, if you have a little sniffle, it opens things up. And it's got a bite to it. It's got a kick to it, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's perfect.
And
it's a perfect end to the conversation.
Yes.
So you can find us at
paragontimelapse.com.
You can find us on social media at Paragon Timelapse.
Cool. That's IG.
That's IG.
Twitter.
Twitter is Paragon Lapse.
All right, cool. What else?
Facebook,
TikTok?
Paragon Timelapse.
No TikTok yet?
Not TikTok
Okay,
yet.
what about Threads?
Not yet.
Not yet. All right, cool. So anyway, the information will be in the description below. So check it out. Check out Mark. You can check out the website. There's there's a gallery, so you can check out their past work and you'll see
Yeah.
that building that he was talking about. You know, so check him out. Support the brother, Paragon Time Lapse, Mark D in the house. Again, you know, there's something we didn't touch on, but I'm gonna slander him right now. See, we work out together, right? So yesterday he missed the workout, so. You know, right now he's kind of weak, all right? Because
Come on.
hey, show the guns. I'm kidding. But Mark is great. We do yoga on Mondays, Wednesdays we do things in the field, and then Fridays we go all out like military style. But he couldn't make it yesterday because there were demonstrations in Nairobi yesterday.
Yeah,
so
man.
traffic was it was crazy. There was a complete lockdown. Plus there were issues with power, that type of stuff. So he couldn't make it. I'm just making fun, but he's one of the guys who basically when he gets to the Monday yogas, his poses, he hits them, boom, straight on, da 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 da, perfect form. Whenever we do certain things, he's in there. But it took me a while to get him to join because he's always busy. He's always shooting. He's always in the field, guys.
If you have to do it right.
Yeah, you got to do it right.
That's what I say. Like for anything. Also, that's one more thing that I think I need to tell people.
Right.
Like if you have to do anything,
Yeah,
just do it right.
that's right.
Because there's beauty in doing something right. It's not perfect, but at least you get better.
Yeah.
Mastery.
Absolutely. Mastery, guys. So this is the ODP in the house representing the 254. And this is the podcast where anything can happen. And you never know who's going to be behind the door next. Who knows? It might be you. So till the next one. Booyah. See ya.
Bye-bye. Booyakasha!
And-
These are usually the offcuts that end up behind the scenes.
I know, right?
At the very tail end.
Yeah,
when the credits are rolling.
Yeah, exactly. Just let them roll. And there's usually a lot of good stuff back there.